JSP life cycle. Various phases we have discussed in the life cycle, then sample examples, then scripting elements. Okay, so different types of scripting elements in JSP. Okay, scriptlets, comment statements, directive, declaration, expression. So all the scriptlet elements we have discussed. Okay, then we started with directives. We have discussed in under the directive. We have discussed three types of directive: page directive, include directive, and tag lib directive. Okay, I think in the last class we have discussed example for include directive, page, and tag lib. Okay, so we have seen one example for defining custom tags. Okay, custom tags using tag lib. Okay, so tag lib is used to declare custom tags defined in JSP page. So an example we have seen. Okay, then we started with implicit objects. Okay, implicit objects. Okay, so far we have unknowingly we have used objects in the JSP page. Okay, we might have used out, we have used request, we have used. Okay, so those objects are called implicit objects. Okay, so those objects are made available by the developer for each page. Okay, so you can use in the page, you can use those objects in the page without any declaration. You don't need to declare the object. Okay, so generally before using any object, so we will be declaring the object. Okay, we will create instance of the class, then we'll be using the object by calling the methods or by accessing the attributes of the specific instance. Okay, so but JSP implicit objects, so without explicit declaration, you can use in the JSP page. Okay, so JSP supports 9 implicit objects. They are out, request, response, session, application, exception, page, page context, and config. Okay, so in this slide, the corresponding class of the object also given. For example, out is the object of the class JSP writer. Okay, JSP writer. This is used to send the data to the output stream. Okay, request is the object of the class HTTP servlet request. It is used to send the request. Okay, send the request to the server. Response. Okay, all the request will be all the request and the input, the data input given by the client will be sent to the server in the form of request object. Okay, then in response, after processing the request, the response from the server page will be sent in the form of response object. Okay, response object. So you can access the, you can get the response from the server by accessing this page. So this object is of the class HTTP servlet response. Okay, then we have session object. Session object is the object is of the class HTTP session. Okay, so application. Okay, so cookies data will be stored in the client machine in the form of text file, whereas session data will be stored in the server side. Okay, application is the object of the class servlet context. Okay, servlet context. Okay, so this application object is used to access the objects across the at the application level. Okay, at the application level we will see in detail. Exception, it is used to handle the exception in the JSP page. Used to whenever there is an error condition in the JSP page, so this exception object is used to convey the error condition to the user. Page, okay, it's an implicit object. Okay, this object is created for every JSP page. Okay, using this object, so you can access the page attributes or page related data. Okay, so page context, this is also an this is also an implicit object which has used to access the attributes of the page. Okay, let's see what is the exact use of page context. Then config, okay, so config is the object of the servlet config. This is used to access the initial parameters of the or initialization parameters of the servlet, which are defined in the web.xml file. Okay, so before deploying any application in the web container, okay, so you have to define web.xml file. Okay, so the web.xml file, it defines the servlet. Okay, in that web.xml file you need to define, you have to give information about the servlets. Okay, so what is the name of the servlet, what is the corresponding servlet class, and when the what is the URL of the servlet. Okay, so when the particular if the whenever there's, I mean, whenever you are invoking or creating an object of the servlet, so particular servlet, okay, so which URL should be invoked. Okay, so information about the servlet will be defined in the class web.xml. Okay, so even other initial parameters will also be defined in the web.xml file. Okay, so now let us see example for each object. This is an example for out object. I hope you can see the PowerPoint presentation. So HTML body, you know that JSP code must be encoded in the scriptlets. Okay, that is only angle bracket percentage. You can access the use the object out. Okay, this out is an object of the class JSP writer. So you the method you can use along with the out object is println. Okay, this is similar to system.out.println in Java. Okay, so you can access the method, you can call the method print out.println. Okay, even you can clear the buffer also by calling the method out.flush. Okay, so here we are just displaying the time. Okay, time by calling the instance, by calling the method, by calling the instance of calendar class calendar dot get instance of dot get time. Okay, so out is for displaying the information or data given by the user. Okay, you can call print method, print or println. So println is used to display the data in the new line. Okay, so next, so you using request object, you can pass parameters. You can pass parameters to the server. Okay, so whenever you are sending parameters, okay, parameters to the servlet. Okay, so it I mean the when it is processing, it invokes the JSP service method. Okay, we have discussed the JSP lifecycle method. Okay, so JSP init method will be called, then JSP service method will be called. So whatever code you written in the scriptlets, all will be written into the JSP service method. Okay, so that will be executed. That means it will be executed. Okay, so all the parameters. Okay, so whatever parameters you are passing from the client machine, so will be sent to the server with the help of request object. Okay, so this request object will be created each time a request is generated. Okay, so using this object, we can request for a parameter. Okay, for a parameter, maybe using session session data, or you can access cookies parameter, or you can access header information, or you can get information about the server details like name of the server, port, then content type, character encoding schemes used. Okay, or defined by the JSP page. Okay, so these are the information you can request using the request object. Okay, you can request for parameters. So parameters you have set in cookies, session, then header information, server name, port, then content type. Okay, so the general syntax to use the request object is request dot, then you can call the method name. Request dot, you can call the method name. You can see in the example, two files are defined, index.html, then welcome.jsp. In the HTML file, just we are defining one text box and just text box with the name, username, then one submit button. Okay, so this HTML page displays the text box. The client will enter the data. So after clicking the submit button, that will be sent to the server. Okay, so then in the JSP page, just we are getting the parameter. Okay, value of the parameter uname by using the object request. Okay, request dot get parameter, then specify the name of the text box. Okay, so this data you can use for further processing in the JSP page. Okay, so here we are just displaying the name out.print welcome plus name. Okay, so we are accessing the parameter given by the entered by the user. Okay, similarly you can access a list of parameters value using the method get parameter names. Okay, so get parameters names is the other method. It gives a enumeration of requested values, whatever values entered using parameter. Okay, with the help of parameter, all will be enumerated using the method get parameter names. Okay, so name of the parameter will be retrieved using get parameter names. Then you can retrieve the parameter values by calling the method get parameter values. Okay, you have to specify the string name. Okay, it returns the whole array of parameters. Okay, okay, so you can get attribute, parameter names, values. Okay, you can set the attribute name also by calling the method set attribute. Okay, set attribute. You have to pass the name of the attribute and you have to pass the value. Okay, so set attribute method sets the value of an attribute according to the user requirements. Okay, so even you can also remove the attribute from the request object by calling the method remove attribute. Okay, so you can get the cookies. Okay, cookies parameter by calling the method get cookies. This already we have discussed in the sample program last class. Okay, I hope you can remember that.